What's up, guys? Jay Shear, co-founder of the Reclamation Society, host of the Story Geeks podcast, here with 5 questions for you about the Justice League. Question number 1. Do you prefer a more traditional take with your superheroes, or do you like a progressive take? In a more traditional take, traits, attitudes, and characterization are far more traditional. It's what you would expect the characters to be like. An example is Marvel's MCU, which contains a lot of characters and they're all very traditional. Take Cap, for example. Captain America seems just like the Captain America we would have seen years ago. A progressive take means that the characters are acting different than we might expect them to act. A progressive take is far more common in the comic book world, where the characters have taken on all sorts of different forms over the years. It's also very common in Zack Snyder's trilogy. Do you prefer a traditional take, or do you prefer a more progressive take like what we're getting in the Justice League? For me, I love both. I've really enjoyed what Snyder has done with the DCEU. I also love a traditional take because there's room for more. There's room for both, and I hope that I can see both in the future. Question number 2. What do you think about Superman's resurrection scene? Was it too soon? Was it handled the right way? Here's my take. The scene where Supes watches the Flash run around him is brilliant. But why have Superman show up pissed off at everybody? I didn't quite understand that. If you want to do that, I can roll with that, but it's just too brief of a turn from him being really mad at everybody to suddenly happy. I would have taken more time with that. But that Flash scene was amazing. Question number 3. What did you think of Aquaman, the Flash, and Cyborg? 3 characters that we've only seen teased before. What do you think? Personally, I loved all 3 of them. Aquaman and Flash have much more progressive takes on their character. Aquaman isn't orange. I like the way that they treated Aquaman. I like the way that they treated the Flash, although I know that's a little bit more controversial because I've heard all of you guys talking about it on social media. The Flash was really funny, and I thought he had some really great lines. I know it's a more progressive take for both of those characters, but like I said, I like a progressive take. Cyborg, on the other hand, is a little bit more traditional. I loved all 3. I'd love to hear your take. Question number 4, and probably the most controversial question I have on here. Do you think that Joss Whedon had a big impact on what we saw? My take is, yes, it did affect it a little bit. Sometimes the tone felt one way, and then other times the tone felt another way, just based on how it was shot, and just even based on the vibe that I was getting. That made me feel like the film was a little disjointed. What I would have loved to see is these guys collaborating more before the filming ever began. That would have been truly cool. Instead, we get the film that feels a little bit off because of the different directorial choices, at least in my opinion. That said, our condolences are still with Zack Snyder. Question number 5. This has been going all around the internet all week long. Do you want a Zack Snyder director's cut? Of course I want a Zack Snyder's director's cut. We've heard rumors that a DC executive said it must be kept under 2 hours. Zack Snyder doesn't do 2-hour movies. He does 2.5 to 3-hour movies. I would love to see what his original vision for this film really looked like. Okay, now it's your turn. I would love to hear what you think about those 5 questions. Just leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, you want to see more of them, click the like button. Thanks for watching, Story Geeks. Be sure to subscribe to the Story Geeks podcast or subscribe to this YouTube channel for more Story Geeks content.